here from Reno, Nevada, for us to be able to do a tracking class this weekend for all the search and rescue teams. You already know my background history. My name is Fernando Moreira from Professional Tracking Services. Would you please tell me a little bit about your personal business? What you do?
Sure. Yeah, well, I've known you quite a while now. You've been there several times training in this area. I run a business that specializes in search and rescue, tracking, wilderness medical, of course, wilderness survival, and various other things. But our main goal is search and rescue and tracking.
What is your goal in the future with your school? How is your school going to benefit the search and rescue team?
There have been several instances here in the last few years in this region of missing persons cases, missing children. It's never ended up well. Most of the time they're found 5 to 7 days later. Search and rescue in this part of the country or in this region, not very well organized, unfortunately. So that's what we're trying to improve upon.
Outstanding. My goal for my business, like you already know, I travel all over the country, and my goal that is to actually help missing children like you, Alzheimer's patients, lost hunters, things like that when it comes to tracking type of stuff. There's no money to be made in search and rescue, and you already discussed about that. I just do this same thing like we do it for the bottom of our hearts because we like to go down there and help locate the loved one and bring them home safety if it's possible. I take very, very serious when it comes to someone's life. For example, when I arrived on the search, I got to play like their lives is actually in my hands. So when I arrive on the search, that person's life is actually in my hands. So I'm going to do everything as possible to go save their life. Of course, I am a volunteer. I do not make no money from searching. And we do this because we love her. And I know you feel the same way, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
What I would like to do is actually my school and your school actually get together and actually combine both schools together and be able to teach classes to all search and rescue teams across the United States if they allowed us to go over there and show them a good skill. Not just in tracking like you're talking about, but also mapping, compass, GPS, and medical skills like you already have, maybe a little bit more survival. You agree with that?
Yep.
Okay. And we, as a part of my business, I cannot speak for yourself, but as a part of my business is I try to do as cheap as possible to teach these classes for search and rescue because they are volunteers like we are. And it is 99.9% of the search and rescue volunteers, they put up everything out of their own pockets. Volunteering time, search gear, trainings, and all that kind of good stuff, man. And I feel guilty to charge them the top dollar to be able to go there and teach a course for them as they already volunteers like me.
Well, the last several years here in this region, I've been offering for free. I lose money on it, and I don't mind doing it because it needs to be done. So the certifications, the training, we do this pretty regular here, and we don't charge.
Exactly. And that's why what I like about you is we just like two guys from two different parts of the country come together and know we have the same goal. My goal in the future is trying to train as many search and rescue teams as possible. Of course, for me, I'm concentrating a lot on tracking because I've been doing this for many years. And for you, I already know you're a tracker, but you have more skills than I do when it comes to the survival, medical,
different things
like that. Just explain to me a little bit about your background from your past.
I spent a long time in law enforcement, everywhere from everything from Department of Corrections when I was a real young guy back, all the way through patrol, investigations, K-9, narcotics, and then a chief deputy. So I've got a background in that, but I still volunteer now for an area rescue unit, and we do search and rescue and medical training for them and donate that to them. So I volunteer with that now currently.
You also can do the outside investigations if we have to, right? For a missing person, things like that, or missing child. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Well, I know how to do it for sure. It's just we got to be called out. We got to be expected to come out and do what we can do.
Correct, because a lot of the family members that there is out there, they're afraid to call the search and rescue team because they think, oh my God, how much money these guys charge. Oh my God, I'm not going to call them because they're going to charge a lot of money. You know what I mean? No, we don't charge anything. When we're going to go on a mission to help find the loved ones, it's 100% for free. Now, if I have to travel from the West Coast towards the East Coast, or you from the East Coast towards the West Coast to help me out for something, only thing I'm going to ask them is like, hey, look, I'm already a volunteer. I volunteer my time. But can you give me a sofa or garage to sleep on it? Can you feed me and at least buy my airfare? You know what I mean? That's the only thing I'm asking. And then we will get there and do what we have to do to locate the loved ones. Are you feel the same way?
Yes. Well, and that's why I pick guys like you to work with and bring into this area, because I want to go with the best. I'm not interested in working with people that try to make a big profit on this stuff. I want to work with somebody that has the same mindset. So that's why I reach out to you.
Sure. I do make money when I teach these classes, and I'm not lying about it. It's like maybe when I teach a class for the military, maybe they're going to give me extra couple $100. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe when I teach a class for law enforcement, they might have a little budget. They might give me a couple more $100. You know what I'm saying? But I also use that money at the end of it to put in my business to benefit a local search and rescue team or a volunteer team anywhere around the country. I mean, from Nevada all the way back here to help you out this week, and we're going to have teams from all over the country up here this week, from a lot of different agencies, from a lot of different states. And I'm really, really proud to be here and be able to meet those people this week. Also, my goal, and me and you already talked about it, is to be able to actually teach them the right way how to do things.
The goal here is to get everybody a base level of training up to a standard, and work with incident commanders as well to let them know how to operate searches, how to conduct ground searches, and how tracking teams can be applied in this terrain, as opposed to being overly dependent upon canines and helicopters. Putting visual tracking into play here.
Correct, because the visual tracking actually should be the number one skill for every single search and rescue team. Everybody should know the basics. But little by little, people come up with drones and, you know what I mean, come up with the new terminology, and it forgets about the skill that's been used for thousands of years, and it works. So, but again, it takes a lot of time to train the participant to become an expert tracker. Also, to become a competent tracker, you got to spend lots of time, many hours, as a dirt time. That's what we call dirt time. That's in the training, right? I know you train a lot. I know what kind of skills that you do, because I already seen you work. You already seen me work. And I still think both of us, we can actually bring a lot of things, a lot of good things for also search and rescue teams. It's my pleasure, and actually be working up here with you. Me and you have a good future together. Now it's time to actually start sending invitation to all the search and rescue teams and be able to bring them here, or they can bring us to them too also. That way we can do classes and teach them the right, you know what I mean? Teach them the right way.
I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, buddy. All right. Again, thanks.
My name's Joey Perry. Taking a few classes across the country, survival schools, different schools here at Strategic Self-Reliance. Taking Fernando's tracking class, it's been pretty amazing. The information is top-notch. Hadn't seen or had many teachers that can explain things the way Fernando has. He's breaking it down into layman's terms. Didn't understand something, he was very willing to express it, take the time with you, make sure you understand it. Great class. Learned things that I had no idea was possible in the woods. Strategic Self-Reliance, the amenities have been wonderful. Everybody's been very friendly. Everybody that's been in the class, very understanding, willing to help each other. But the main reason I came is to learn tracking. And Fernando, from watching different people on YouTube, you get a lot of BS. And when you take his class, it's the real deal. As far as teachers, second to none. So it's definitely been a wonderful class, and I would recommend it. You know, any of his classes, any of Alfred's classes here at Strategic Self-Reliance, you're not going to find many better out there. So I definitely highly.
Hi, my name's Kathy, and I'm a member of a canine search and rescue team in Missouri, and I'm out here this weekend at Strategic working with both Alfred and Fernando, learning how to track. This is probably the second time I've been here at Strategic, and overall probably the fourth class I've taken with Fernando, which tells me if anyone out there tries to convince you that learning tracking only takes a couple of classes, it's not true. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of training, and you get the best training with Alfred and Fernando. Now, I'm a canine handler with my team, and I'm taking tracking because as a canine handler, I figure for me it's going to be an extra tool for me if I'm on a search with my dog. I'm not sure how focused I will actually be on tracks when I'm with my dog, but again, it has really opened up my eyes to what I need to be aware of when I'm out in the woods and working with my dog. I never really considered track awareness beforehand, so this has really been an eye-opener for me. And perhaps in the future, when I'm a little bit too old to chase a dog, tracking might be something that I might gravitate to. So as I mentioned, I'm a retired high school teacher. Currently, I'm teaching ESL classes at my local community college. But I'd like to serve my community by being on a search and rescue team. So I really appreciate coming here to these seminars because you meet other people that also have that ideal of helping their community, helping people who are lost. So it's great to come here, swap experiences, share ideas for teams with other people that come to these seminars on the weekends. And then, of course, it's great to hear Alfred and Fernando share their stories and their expertise.
All right. Hello. My name's Owen. Out here doing a SAR level 1 tracking class with Fernando. It's my second time doing this class with him. Phenomenal things that he's able to show you, teach you, open your eyes up to things that you never would have seen before. It's the second time out here, and I feel like I've learned just as much this time new stuff as I did the first time I was out here. Class out here sponsored by Strategic Self-Reliance and Defense. This training area, I've probably been out here almost a dozen times now doing some various classes, kind of building up skills, putting everything together to further what the knowledge I have to help out my community in search and rescue. Our area is very poor in what they do in regard to search and rescue training, and even just the volume of calls that we have is very low. So the opportunity to get out in the field and use those skills isn't something that we do regularly. So being able to come out here, take this class multiple times, keep those skills fresh, keep learning new things, absolutely amazing. So it's helped already, just my abilities going out and looking at things differently when I'm just out walking around town or out in the woods taking a hike. It's one of those things, just always keep training, keep learning new things, and keep coming doing these classes. These gentlemen do some great things out here.